Hello and welcome to Pit Stop. In this episode, we're talking to JP Hunt. He's the CMA president for Kimberly, and as you can see, he's quite the man. So, JP, very welcome on our show, and thank you for making time for us. And I know that your schedule is hectic, and it's really a lot of work. And you've been in Cape Town for quite some time and just returned. So he's now back on his honeymoon phase. That's between friends. Just to let you guys know, this is a show for bikers by bikers, and this is here where we share our life stories and our passions for motorcycles around the world. And I can't wait to hear what your story is that you're gonna share with us today.
Yeah, that's quite the story.
At the back end, we've got our production team there, and we thank them also for helping us. JP, I can tell that you're getting to the older side of life if I look at your bike. I've heard this rumor that you tell tales about a way younger daredevil with a bike way more sophisticated than this. Perhaps it was a wise decision for you to settle down to the vintage side of life. If I look at your hair, there's a little bit of black, but I think it's because of all the wind that took away the hair. So
Don't talk too much. You'll make me go back to that era.
he's going back there. I want to see that, bro. I want to see that. JP, I reckon that you've been in this biking community for quite some time. This is why we've invited you.
Yeah.
A lot of people know you, and I know your heart, and I know your passion for motorcycles, and we would like you to share that for the community. For me, CMA, the Christian Motorcycle Association, is all about living out your faith. It's about being there for somebody that needs a shoulder to cry on.
Yes.
But in fact, it's actually way more than just that. Now, to get to being a president for the CMA in Kimberly, it must have started somewhere.
Yes.
The biggest question everybody's asking when you see a biker is, where did everything actually start for you?
For me, it started with my father. He was a very big biker in Kimberley way back when.
Groter as hy ook.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He was also one of the biggest daredevils that I know in Kimberley, and yeah, that's where the passion for biking started. I only came to know the Lord from a very good friend of mine, and he took me in. He's still president for the Ghana Angels Kimberley.
Okay.
And I was with them for quite some time before the Lord said, you must change. Move to CMA. That's where I started prospecting for CMA and went through the ranks from there. And I haven't never looked back since. I was blessed. I had a couple of bikes ever since. So yeah, I've just been enjoying it all the way. Living the life of teaching the people and showing them what it is to be a biker and to be a Christian.
Because you actually had to prove yourself.
Yes.
Getting into the CMA or getting into any motorcycle association or club for that matter, you have to actually prove yourself worthy of being part of that, and also show by means of the way you live. For CMA, it's all about your faith and it's your heart and knowing Jesus Christ and also living it out. So it's not always preaching and having the Bible under your arm, but which is important. But it's not only that; it's about living your faith.
Yes.
Now, what is the one thing that inspired you to keep on going, riding, and being part of the CMA despite the difficulties of life that's being thrown to you? I know all of us are going through patches in our lives. It's either financial or a matter of life that is pushing us. And to keep positive and keep going, we need inspiration. What is yours?
My biggest inspiration came with Piet that took me in. And that's where I got to know the Lord. Okay. I really got to have a intimate relationship with him. And yeah, when times went bad, I can just say thank you. He still blessed me. He still gave me the tools that I needed to carry on. He blessed me with a wonderful wife and a wonderful child.
And she is beautiful.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, and she just came in and accepted me as I am, and just walked into the biking life and took it on with both arms. And for that, I'm very thankful. That is my biggest blessing. It's the family that I have, not only just at home, but also the family at CMA, the family at the Guardian Angels. it's been a wonderful journey, and I can just thank the Lord for that.
So what I'm hearing here from you is the fact that the God has blessed you in so many ways, and He's
Yes,
keep on
of course.
doing that. He's part of your life. But I also hear the element of being part of a family, and CMA is all about families.
Yes, 100%.
And I think in the biker community, we have a different term for family. We call it a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And being part of that is what inspires us. Because if, even for me, JP, when I see you on your bike, I'm being inspired because it takes a lot just to be there, to be out there. It's like a bullseye on your back, but it inspires me. There must have been a time in your life where you've realized that, you know what, biking, that's me. It's part of my DNA. I can't do without biking. Biking is who I am. It's what I do, and this is how I serve the Lord. At what stage in your life have you realized that this is part of you? This is something that cannot be taken away.
Well, I think the biggest step came with me joining CMA. At that stage, I wasn't financially really in a good place. All I knew was just go. And I went, and my wife just supported me all the way. That's when I bought a Blackbird again, and I realized this is where I'm supposed to be. And ever since, I think I drive with the bike. I bought the car for my wife, and I said, "You can have a car. I'll just keep the bike. It's fine."
That is a man.
And yeah, I'm on my bike 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I can't see myself without it. It just feels weird not having it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I realized it's meant to be.
If you start riding, once you're in it, it's difficult to get out.
It is.
It's not that easy just to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
And the fact that your wife is part of it, your wife is supporting you, that is so beautiful for me.
Yeah.
Because that can be a very big stumble block in your marriage and in your relationship with your wife or your husband for that matter. If he's always out riding.
Yeah.
It's nice to see, especially with you and your wife, to see the people going out. You see the man and the wife, husband and wife going out, boyfriend and girlfriend going out at the same time,
Yes.
which is very nice. Now, JP, you've mentioned that you've been involved with other clubs, the Red Devils, you've mentioned them, and hopefully soon we will have the president of the Red Devils on the show too. But there are so many motorcycle clubs and organizations within South Africa. Why choose CMA?
You know what? I don't think it was really a decision for me.
Nee man broer. Gaan was
No, it's
man.
fine,
You
it's
see.
I don't think it was really a decision for me, or a decision I could have made. At some point, at the Guardian Angels, like I said, things wasn't going forward. Of course, here from the church, he was hammering me for CMA now for quite some time at that stage. And one morning, I just woke up and I told my wife, "Listen here, tonight I'm going to CMA. I'm going to see what's the whole story about."
Okay.
And went to CMA that evening, and yeah, the next day I went to speak to Wimpiet. He gave me his blessing. He said he'll never stop in something like that.
Amen.
So yeah, came over to CMA, and that's where everything started. I've started getting more involved with charities and all that.
Yeah.
Driving things like that, coffee runs, breakfast runs, all those kinds of things. And yeah, never looked back ever since.
Fantastic. Now, the last question that I've got to ask you, and you've mentioned earlier in a talk about the prospect.
Yes.
Now, prospect is a term that we use for people coming into the club or into the community of cycling, is where they actually get bought, they ride along, they don't get the colors, and that is where we give the opportunity for both parties, the individual, but also the club, to check each other out. You know, will you fit into our family? Do you have the values? But it's also a place where we learn how we do things. So each and every motorcycle club out there, you will have to go through a prospect period of time of prospecting. If you have some wise word for the prospects of the motorcycle club or the youth, and especially the younger generation coming up into the community, what advice would you give to them?
All I will say is just enjoy it. That's the only thing. You've given this life with so many opportunities, and I think as a young person, you can just enjoy it. If you've got the means, you've got the tools, and you want to be part of it, just enjoy it and become part of the family. Like we said earlier, it's not just a club, it's a brotherhood, it's a family.
It's the family. Yeah.
And at CMA, people tend to wonder what's happening here and all that, but we just normal human beings, just trying to enjoy our lives and do good in the community. And to be part of something like that is amazing. It's been a wonderful ride for me, and I'm sure that for the younger generation, they will enjoy it just as much. Just live open.
There's so much to learn, and there's so many questions that I would like to ask you, JP, but unfortunately, we had to reach the end of our episode. I want to encourage you that if you want to get a hold of JP, he's always available. You can reach him at the CMA chapter in Kimberly. That's right behind the Bikers Church here in Southridge. If you can't get a hold of him, you're more than welcome to either phone the church the offices and just ask if you can get hold of him there, or you can contact our production team at the end of the details will be at the end of this video. Being a biker doesn't make us different. We are ordinary people living extraordinary lives, and we are living it to the full. There's only one difference. We like to ride. Maak jou fiets hande klap, my broer. Hy mis jou.
Ek gaan definitief glo vir
Dis
my.
'n bietjie tyd.